CBS News has obtained a rough draft of the law enforcement reform proposal from Republican Senator Tim Scott. It comes a few days after Democrats revealed their own bill to address policing in America. Let's bring in CBS News White House correspondent Ben Tracy. So Ben, this proposal does have some similarities to what Democrats are proposing. What do we know about how the White House feels about Senator Scott's plans and what reforms President Trump could support? Because that was the point that I was making earlier when we were talking to Nancy Cordes. It seems as if Republicans are moving forward with their own plans without much input from President Trump, at least based on his Twitter feed.
Yeah, and I think that is true. Senator Scott himself said that there are three tracks here. There's basically the Republican track on the Hill, the Democrats on the Hill, and then the White House. And it's not clear how many kind of cars are on the White House train on this issue right now. So they are talking with Republicans on the Hill, but the White House so far has not come out and said what, if any, sort of police reforms they would actually support. All they have done so far is said what they do not support. That includes they do not support taking qualified immunity away from police officers, would make it easier to sue police officers for brutality. And the White House obviously says they are very much against the issue of defunding the police, even though that is not part of the Democrats' bill, and it's certainly not going to be part of the Republican legislation either. The White House Chief of Staff yesterday did say that he would like to see something done sooner rather than later, but the White House still is not putting any sort of proposal on the table.
So Vlad pointed out earlier that the president has been tweeting about all sorts of things, not about police reform or anything to sort of unify the nation. One of the things that he has been tweeting about is this 75-year-old protester in Buffalo. The president retweeted a conspiracy theory that was floated on a cable news channel that perhaps this protester was part of Antifa. I'm wondering what you're hearing about that, how that went over within the White House. Advisors, aides, what's their take on that tweet, other than it wasn't helpful?
Yeah, it hasn't gone over well. I mean, the thought here at the White House is that certainly it's not helpful, especially given this particular moment in time. You also saw Republicans on Capitol Hill have to be asked about this, and you saw two things happen. You saw what you normally see happen when the president tweets something that people don't want to talk about. They either pretend they've not seen it, or they just say, I'm not going to comment on the president's tweets. There were a couple of Republicans yesterday who did comment on it. They're the folks, though, that you might expect to comment on it. Senator Mitt Romney, who's no fan of the president, said that he found it shocking. Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska was asked about it, and her initial response was, oh, Lord. And then she said, I don't understand why he would be fanning the flames at this particular moment in time. But certainly there is concern here at the White House, especially because the president has been widely criticized for his response to the unrest that we have seen across the country. And there is no real plan yet from the White House as to how to address any of these issues. And they keep saying that the president might give some sort of address about race and unity, but there doesn't seem to be agreement on that either. So certainly the president wading into conspiracy theory territory yesterday was not what anyone here wanted to see.
All right, Ben Tracy, thank you so much for zipping
Ben.
along, because this
Ben
hearing
Emery?
is going to... No, we didn't lose Ben, but we're about to lose Ben because the hearing's going to start in about 10 minutes, so we've got a few more people to talk to. Thank you so much, Ben.